Le'Veon Bell is great. You don't have to go from he's great to the world would collapse if Le'Veon Bell wasn't on this roster. Sometimes you can look at the past. Sometimes you can look at history. You can look at the way the team has performed without Le'Veon Bell and go, you know what, as great as he is, and oh my God, he is great. He's a top 3 running back in the NFL. Oh my God, the team revolves around Le'Veon Bell. There's no doubt he touches the ball as much as anybody on that team. But you can look at that and go, yeah, but what happens when Bell's out? How's it been? Well, we know. We don't have to theorize about it. It's not hypothetical. D'Angelo Williams stepped in. How did he perform? Oh, I don't know, about 1,000 yards in 10 games. Did pretty good. They got a guy that they're super jazzed about in Connor on that team. He looked good filling in for Bell in the past, averaged over 4 yards a carry, and he's looked good in the preseason. I don't think Le'Veon Bell is replaceable in the sense that you're going to get everything back that you lost. I think he's a unique talent. Obviously, his ability to catch the ball would be something that's missing from that Steelers offense. But, and this is going to send you bananas, and we've had this debate. I've seen teams replace high-level guys. I saw DeMarco Murray get replaced. It happened. I know Bell is not Murray. Don't do that. I understand. But I've seen teams think the sky would fall when you lose a running back or a receiver. And guess what? It's not. And as far as the Steelers are concerned, they've already done it once. And they got a guy on the roster that they think is pretty good now.
Le'Veon Bell is, I'd say, along with Odell Beckham Jr., two offensive players that you can argue are more valuable to their team's offense than many quarterbacks are to their team's offense. Le'Veon Bell is not only the best running back in the world and keeps your defense, which, by the way, is god-awful, off the field. Like, think about what the Jaguars' offense did to the Steelers' defense. And it does not look like it's improved from the moves they made, the Steelers' defense. So he keeps your defense off the field, which is a good thing, obviously, a necessary thing. But he is also an elite pass catcher. He is one of the all-time great all-around backs. And while he may even be in a little bit of decline, or at least guys are catching up to him, the distance he'd put between himself and the rest of the league when on the field in, let's say, 3 of the last 4 seasons is historical. Like, it ranks among the greatest kind of gaps between the top running back and everyone else in the league. The Steelers are not going in the right direction. They got to strike now. They have a bad defense. This guy is the key to their offense on a team that includes a future Hall of Famer in Ben Roethlisberger and a guy who's putting up prime Jerry Rice numbers in Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell's the most important offensive player on that team. The Steelers must score as much as possible. Every team, yes, of course, but they don't have the defense, in other words. They have to engage in shootouts and high-scoring games. Le'Veon Bell, if he is not on the Steelers cease to be a Super Bowl contender. That's how important he is.
They would drop from a Super Bowl contender, you're correct, Max, to merely a playoff team, though. That's, I guess in the end, what happens is we paint this like the entire. I'll tell you this. If I were picking, I think it would be Antonio Brown. Like, if you're talking about who has the bigger effect, should they be gone on that team, take away Le'Veon Bell, take away Antonio Brown. Who's harder to replace? Well, the fact of the matter is the Steelers have had to contend with the absence of Le'Veon Bell. They've done it. I mean, I don't know how you answer that in the end, by the way. In the end, how did they do with D'Angelo Williams? How did they perform with D'Angelo Williams? How did he fill in?
But when Bell's been compromised in the playoffs or not there, they're not the same team. You immediately know they can't win. Not important games against big teams without Le'Veon Bell in high leverage moments. He's the key to the offense, Will. And by the way, if you're talking about long-term planning, of course you're right. You pay Antonio Brown, not Le'Veon Bell. It's the nature of their positions. But at this moment, given his broad skill set and given his central kind of importance to what the team does offensively, they must have him. Now, we're really talking about beyond next year. We'll see what he does this year and how much it seems he has left going forward. But if you were to remove Le'Veon Bell simply from the Steelers and replace him with like a D'Angelo Williams type, a good veteran running back, the Steelers are not Super Bowl contenders. That's the whole shooting match. Roethlisberger's getting old. They really don't have a backup plan unless you believe in Mason Rudolph. They don't have a defense. This is it. You got to do it now.